The son of Hong Kong publisher and activist Jimmy Lai is in Australia this week to advocate for his father's release. Jimmy Lai has been imprisoned in Hong Kong for over 3 years already on national security charges. His case symbolic of the Chinese government's tighter controls in Hong Kong. Let's chat to Sebastian Lai, who joins us from Canberra. Good morning there, Sebastian. Thank you so much for your time. So why should your dad be freed? What is your message to politicians in Canberra?
So my father's case is a textbook press freedom case, and a case where the legal system has been weaponized to not only imprison my father and his colleagues, but 1,800 political prisoners in Hong Kong.
And why is that important for countries like Australia?
So it's pretty simple, actually. It's the values that this country, Australia, stands for. Australia is a democracy, has freedom of speech, free press. Hong Kong is trying to tell the world that they have similar values so that they could take advantage of it on an economical level. And that is no longer the case. It's very simple. If you type in Apple Daily raids, Apple Daily, which used to be my father's newspaper, was the biggest newspaper in Hong Kong, you can see 500 officers running into the newsrooms and arresting people.
Yeah, overdoing it a tad. Your dad's a British citizen, but he's also a dual national. What's the UK election impact on his case? And also, how much more can they do? Because I've heard that negotiating for dual nationals is very hard.
Yeah, negotiating for dual nationals is hard, but my father is not actually a dual national. In fact, when he arrived in Hong Kong on a fishing boat as a child, it was the first time he got papers. Hong Kong was a British colony. And so he is only British. He's ever only had British papers, and so it is a case where my father is a British citizen. So it's not actually that hard for the UK to advocate on his behalf. We've had bipartisan support.
But the UK foreign minister has actually said your dad is a dual national. I think that is part of the problem.
So I saw. From my understanding, they have gone back on that now, because dual national was a position of the Hong Kong government and the Chinese government, but that is no longer the UK government has used that language, unfortunately, but now they have gone back in calling him a British national and also called for his immediate and unconditional release. And so both the Labour Party and Conservative are both on the position that he should be released immediately and unconditionally.
That's good. How can ordinary Australians help, and why does it matter to them?
So, ordinary Australians can follow my father's trial, put pressure on the Hong Kong government, write to your representatives. I mean, in the end of the day, that's what the people of Hong Kong wanted. They wanted to be represented in their own government. And so using that power of democracy, of what the people of Hong Kong fight for, to put pressure on the Hong Kong government to release my father and other political prisoners, it is a power that anybody in Australia has.
And what are you expecting from the Hong Kong community living in Australia on your dad's case? Are they ambivalent? Are they taking a stand?
Yeah, so I've been incredibly moved by the support that we've been having in Australia. Both from politicians, but also from the Hong Kong community, a lot of which would have left Hong Kong for many reasons. But there's been a huge exodus from Hong Kong as a result of the national security law, as you know.
There are now calls for Beijing to listen to Hong Kong tycoons like they used to decades ago, to understand Hong Kong better, to play a productive role in influencing policy. Do you think that might be too late? I mean, we're now jailing tycoons like your dad.
Well, so my father is the only tycoon that stood up for democracy and stood up for press freedom in Hong Kong. So actually, in the Hong Kong prisons, he is the only tycoon, which is something I'm incredibly proud of. Someone who has essentially sacrificed everything he has to stand up for his beliefs. I think Hong Kong going back to a place where which was Hong Kong used to be a link between Western or democratic values and Chinese values. I think going back to that is obviously beneficial for both parties.
We hope so, and we hope your dad will be released. Thank you so much for your time. Sebastian Lai speaking to us in Canberra.
Thank you.